Today marks the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who's first episode. 3 specials are set to begin, airing on the 25th of November, with David Tennant playing the 14th Doctor. Let's take a look.
Something entered this world.
Oh, but he is recognizing me.
Who is he?
The one who waits.
Open fire!
Why does it have to be this?
Your fight is with me!
He's just brilliant, isn't he? Well, joining us now is the longest Doctor Who companion, Frazer Hines. Very good morning to you, Fraser. Fantastic to have you on the programme with us. And first of all, let's just reflect on that 60th anniversary. Absolutely incredible achievement.
No sound.
You've got no sound. Can you hear me? Fraser, can you hear me?
No sound.
We'll reconnect with Fraser. I'm afraid that we've got some technical issues with him. But I am joined in the studio by our very lovely Paul Coit, who is a Doctor Who fan.
Well, that's not necessarily true.
Well, you've watched it. And that's enough for me.
No, I'll be honest with you. It's one of those things. See, I grew up with it, and I know everybody, I don't know whether you were, but everybody seemed to be afraid of Doctor Who. Everybody's got this childhood thing, but it wasn't actually Doctor Who that I was frightened of. It was, as I mentioned earlier, it was the music.
It was the music.
Absolutely terrified me.
And it is incredible music, though, and I think that's actually why it's been such a successful show.
What, you think the music?
I think the music is a big part of that. Wardrobe.
Yeah, Ron Grainer. It was a guy called Ron Grainer, and it was the BBC orchestra. Well, it was the BBC Stereophonic Orchestra or some name like that. But that was it, and that was when it started, and that went right the way through. So you had the films originally. So there was the film with William Hartnell was the first Doctor back in the very, very early days. Then Patrick Troughton took over from him. Then John Pertwee, late great John Pertwee, that was when Doctor Who then got to colour. You know what? I'm sounding nervously like more of a fan than I imagined I would be.
There you are. You're much more of a fan than you think you are.
It's just a ridiculous memory of all those things, and then going through to Tom Baker, and Tom Baker and John Pertwee were the main two that probably me and Eamon remember more than anything else.
Absolutely. Well, I believe we have Frazer Hines back on the line for us. Fraser, can you hear me?
I can now, yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, Fraser, I was just asking you about it's an absolutely amazing achievement, isn't it? 60 years of Doctor Who, and you are the longest-serving companion. What was it like for you working on such an incredible show?
It was wonderful. Patrick Troughton was fantastic as the Doctor, and he was a lovely giving actor as well. If I had an idea for something in the script, he'd say, "Oh yeah, Fraser's got an idea, let's do it." Whereas some actors could say, "No, I'm the Doctor. You just do what you just stick to the script." So Patrick was lovely. But at the time when I left, it was still just a children's TV show, and I did 3 years, which should never be beaten. But if I'd known I was going to be here like 16 years later or whatever, I'd have kept my kilt, the boots, the shirt, the performance. I would have kept everything.
Oh, it sounds like an absolutely magical experience for you. And you actually came back in the 80s as well, didn't you?
That's right. Yeah, I came back for the 5 Doctors. I was supposed to be longer with Patrick, but Emmerdale couldn't release me. Then I came back to do the 2 Doctors, and it was great. We filmed in Seville. You saw some of the photographs there of us filming in Seville. It's supposed to be in somewhere in America, but the American money pulled out. But there's a job that's 4 episodes. I'm supposed to be in the Highlanders, 4 episodes and then finish. And it's taken me all over the world, but New Zealand, America, Australia, and Milton Keynes. It's taken me everywhere.
When do you think, Fraser, it went through its rockiest time? I mean, the BBC at one stage obviously decided this was not for us, we're not going to show this. And then they had to bring it back again with huge success. But why do you think it entered a rocky time, and when do you think that era was?
How are you doing, Pilgrim? Haven't seen you for ages.
I was just away doing a little message there, so I had to be away and come back. So I'm sorry I'm late to the party.
That's all right. No, we go back a long way, don't we?
We do.
Even, I remember you as a cub reporter for the BBC.
Yeah,
filming me riding out of Midland as a jockey.
I could have been a doctor. I was reincarnated since then, so it's the way it is. Yeah, but why do you think it all went wrong that they had to take it off air?
I think it was Michael Gray didn't like it. He just didn't want the show, and he was head of the BBC, and he took it off. But it was the fandom that sort of kept it going with conventions. And I think the fans said, look, this is you've got to bring it back. And I think he was forced to bring it back.
And what do you think the magic is of Doctor Who? You touch upon the fandom there. There really is a fandom, and it just seems to keep growing in success over the years. I mean, David Tennant, the most popular Doctor so far. We're expecting to see him in this special, this 3-hour special this weekend. Do you think lightning can strike twice? Will he be just as popular in this special this weekend?
I don't know. Sometimes you can have too much of a good thing. I mean, everybody has their favourite doctors, and some people might say, oh, not David Tennant again. Couldn't so-and-so come back, or, whatever. So everybody has their favourite doctors, but let's hope, it's a success.
Do you remember watching it as a viewer?
I did, actually. I watched it because I used to watch it after the horse racing on a Saturday. I dashed back from the betting shop and watched Doctor Who. I wasn't an avid viewer, but I just sort of dived in and out.
Paul and I were saying earlier on, the fact that, in William Hartner's day or Patrick Troughton's day, when it was in black and white, that added to the atmosphere of it, and in a way, maybe the scariness of it.
You're right, Eamon. To me, black and white shadows are scarier in black and white. In colour, the shadows seem to be lighter. But, you can see straight at the shadows. But if it's in colour, you're right. Black and white is definitely scary.
Also the theme music, classical, absolutely.
That was the scariest thing.
And do you remember the opening titles?
Fraser's going to freak me out if he starts doing the music. I'm going to end up running off.
There was this sort of smoke sort of issue thing that went doodle-doo, doodle-doo.
Yeah, that's it.
Doodle-doo, doodle-doo. It was... It's like the Bond theme,
It is iconic. You know what? With the music, Fraser, isn't it true? Didn't you make a record? Wasn't there a Doctor Who song that you did?
Yeah, Who's Doctor Who? Written by Les Reed and Barry Mason.
Legendary songwriters.
Delilah for Tom Jones.
Yeah.
And The Last Waltz for Engelbert. And then Barry Mason, we used to play football for the Showbiz 11. He said, me and Les are going to write your record. And they did. And I was the only flop they had.
But look, you're still flopping. Still talking about it. Still there, my friend. Flip-flop around. Lovely talking to you, Fraser. Thanks for reliving the memories. And great to see you. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
It's lovely to see you with your daughter there.
No.
Yes.
Are we doing sport with you?
Well, we are, but I do remember, I don't know whether you remember this, because I just remember there was a Weetabix thing.
No.
It was a Doctor Who Weetabix free. When you used to get free stuff with cereal. You don't get that.
Oh, yeah.
And it was.
Did they do Cyberman masks and things?
That's it. There it is. Look at that.
It's funny. It comes back to me, right?
That is exactly it. Now, is it inside the TARDIS? So you would cut that out, and then you would get the figures. There we are. Oh, there's the TARDIS. So then so that would be the back of the Weetabix box.
Yeah.
And I remember cutting it out, and then you fold it round, and then you get the figures, and then, I don't know whether did I actually really play Doctor Who with the figures? I probably did. But that was free with Weetabix back in the 70s. I remember it really well.
You used to get nothing with Weetabix. Weetabix was, like a staple diet, sort of boring type food. And they never gave free gifts away. Whereas Sugar Puffs.
Oh, did they?
Oh, you would get Star Trek badges and stickers.
So I love it when you put your hand in there trying to find.
But my mother would never buy it. We'd say, Mummy, can we have Sugar Puffs? And we'd say, they're too expensive. You can't have it. So
you only want it for the free gift, Eamon, don't you? Is that what it was?
Right.
Yeah.
So we'd end up with porridge or Weetabix.
Oh dear.
Whatever.
Healthy breakfast.
That's free.